Give it up for Nickie.
All right, everyone, it's lovely to be here. I've got Adam Driver clapping for me. I'm very happy. It's so lovely to be here. Thank you so much for that lovely, lovely introduction. So I'm going to be trying to double fist the situation here with you. So what Izzy was mentioning about some people here not being designers and not knowing that Canva is difficult to convert, that was me. So poor Izzy was chained to her desk earlier today trying to convert everything over. So guys, bear with us if there are any, as you can see already starting to happen, if there are any technical issues, this presentation might be as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. Point to the left. That makes sense. That's very, there you go, guys. There you go. Okay, resilience. Thank you. All right, everyone. So you got a little bit of my sort of formal professional background, but I thought I would give you some fun facts about me as well. So believe it or not, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. Had that when I was a kid, but as you can see from this photo, I do prefer to just hang out at home and read. So that's what I've been doing now. Here you'll see me playing the guitar with my cousin Marianne. Fun fact, I taught myself how to play guitar out of revenge after dating a musician in my early 20s, breaking up with him and deciding I can do this too. The last photo there, I recently applied for Canadian citizenship, and I don't know how many folks here have gone through that process or will be going through that process. I went really hard with the studying. You don't have to go this hard. I see you laughing. Yep. So guys, we're gonna go on the London Underground here together. There's a bit of a transit theme happening this evening. So I was raised in Denmark and later England by parents who come from Iranian background, and they came to Europe as refugees. This is one of my favorite photos of my mum. This was taken in Iran around the time when the regime changed and the Islamic government came in, stripping people of their freedoms left, right, and center. Mandatory hijabs came in. Mama not very happy about it. My parents then moved over to Denmark, where I came into their lives. I'm at the bottom there. And even though we later moved to rural England as well, and I'm so grateful for the peace that I grew up to grow up in and the sacrifice of my parents. We were pretty isolated. There was a lot of racism happening, but we all got through. There was still a lot of joy in the community. This is me and that same cousin, Mariam, who's going to be featuring throughout this presentation. Just some family members here photoed in Iran, just having joyful moments and really growing up. Some of my favorite memories were being a kid, sitting around the table and hearing all the adults in the family sharing, honestly, really harrowing escape journeys from Iran and things that they've had to do and gone through that maybe a 5-year-old shouldn't be listening to. But they told it with so much humor and joy that I was really able to see their resilience. And that was what really encouraged me to want to try storytelling. However, this is what I look like. This is me as a kid in Denmark, protecting identities here, but I looked very different to everyone else, and always kind of felt like a bit of an outsider. The stories that I was hearing at home, they were not what was being played in the media, outside, in the headlines, and so a lot of the representation that I did have was kind of a little bit like this. It's a little bit of what I was growing up with. But despite that, we trucked on through. Growing up in rural England, very, very slowly, I started to see more Middle Eastern representation. Even every now and then, an Iranian comedian would come through town. And here you will see a ticket that I still have from 2010. I was a teenager back in those days, and British-Iranian comedian Shapi Khorsandi came to town, and I purchased her book. This is a photo of me on Ramsey, shout out, Ramsey's podcast, The Creatives, where I brought the book along just as something that's really encouraged me throughout time. And guys, Omid Jalili was the other singular Iranian comedian who would come to town. He's in Ottawa today. And the fact that I know there's at least one other Iranian in the room, the fact that you're here instead of with Omid Jalili means that I won. I'm doing the thing. And guys, just like with Sharifa's beautiful, beautiful presentation, there will be some mandatory audience participation this evening as well. And mine, it's a combination of Persian mythology and UK children's theatre. Now you might be thinking, what is that? What is she talking about? Well, this is me being very confused in England, growing up between the two cultures, so I'm gonna make you all feel as confused as I did. So, what is the phoenix? The phoenix, it exists in lots of cultures, but also in sort of ancient Persian culture. It is a creature that is inherently feminine. It lives for a really long time before it dies in a fiery burst of its own making. And then she's reborn from her own ashes. She is giving new life to herself. Now, to me, this is very, very reflective of community. This is very reflective for all of us in our lives. We come to moments where we have to burn something down only to be able to move on to the next chapters of our lives. And guys, this is, as Izzy so sweetly said, a vulnerable moment for all of us here tonight to be up on stage, pouring our hearts out. So please support me when you see, do the thing that I tell you to do, when I tell you to do it. When you see this, guys, I'm going to ask you to chant at me, burn it down, okay? Sounds good? Okay, burn it. Very nice, thank you so much. It's allowed to be guttural. You can be angry about it if you want. Let out whatever feeling you're carrying with you. Thank you, my friends. And you might be thinking, where does the UK children's theatre come into this? And the answer is that I don't know. I did not go to the theatre. I was too much of an immigrant kid, but this is me being forced to partake in school shows. So again, we're just here to heal my inner child together. But what I do know is that UK theatre, what I knew of it, there was adults on stage in funny costumes and there were kids yelling at them. So that's it. The more you yell at me, that's you guys doing UK theatre. We're on the West End. This is Broadway, friends. So hopping back onto the London Underground, this is where I grew up. Beautiful, pastoral, so gorgeous, so peaceful. Very grateful for it again, but once more, we were one of the only immigrant families. This is me graduating high school, all smiles. They did misspell my surname, which was just the bane of my exam. I'm sure for so many of us in this room, happened to me a lot. And then at the bottom there, that's me, late teens. I decided to go work at a local pub. I decided to get over, burst out of my little immigrant bubble and get over whatever fears I had and go straight into the belly of the beast in rural England and go to the pub and to really integrate myself in there. And yes, there were definitely people that would come up and ask, how many camels so that I can buy you? And some of the things that I've heard and seen, my friends, you can ask me about it later because I can't say them. They can't be on, on tape here. But it was a very good lesson, again, in resiliency. I'm also really bad at math, so it was really good to get over my fear of the till. But around this time as well, I started to be able to write for the local paper. So the same paper that misspelled my name, they did make up for it by giving me a column. So every week I would review the Great British Bake Off and see my name in print, which was really exciting. That's it. It was time. It was time to leave. And leave I did. I went to London. This is not the face of someone who's having a great time in London. London was really hard. But the journalism was still continuing. It was still continuing to move. I got to write for the platform /Ever, which I don't know if anyone's familiar with it. She's doing great now, so that's fun. But I was writing articles like, I grew up at the intersection of sex ed, mindfuck. And then I had a mentor say to me, hey, it's really cool that you're the route of writing about sex and relationships. Just be really sure that's what you want to do because you will be pigeonholed. I got scared and I immediately emailed everyone to be like, please can you remove this article? Of pubic hair. You can even see the highlight where I had to Google that in my inbox, guys, for you. Thank you. And then I ended up in hard in London. I knew it was time to pack it up. I went back to Devon, thought everything was going horribly. You know, these things that you deem as failures, they're going to be leading you someplace. Just you wait. Week holiday, again with my cousin Mariam, who lives here. It was the Persian New Year. I was here to see who's the guy skating really well, trying to teach me how to skate. He's also sat there in the audience. And so I decided to stay. I cancelled my return ticket, and I have been here ever since. Thank you, thank you. And Ottawa has treated me really well. Mariska, your point about Ottawa being boring, I was lucky in that because I got to come here with my cousin and Alex and their networks, you know, I was able to find the art spaces, which I was very grateful for. And so I started writing for Apartment 613, who really helped me get to know the city a lot better and the arts a lot better. And then that led me to writing columns for Ottawa Business Journal. And then very slowly I started inching back towards writing about Iranian culture. So getting to write for CBC Arts and Shondaland. Guys, I want more of a cheer for Shondaland. Thank you. She did Bridgerton, guys. Yes, thank you. Wait, okay. Technical difficulty, it's okay. I had my demo reel in there and you would all be like, oh my God, you're so talented. Look at the Bell 5 TV1 documentary you did. Woo! Thank you. We can watch it? That's true. Izzy, thank you.
Within each of us is a wealth of stories, memories, reflections, and ideas that make us who we are today.
Sherry, I know you've had such a fascinating career that's taken you from country to country, so can you share a little bit more about that and I mean, how that's led you to where you are today? Woo. Thank you. And as you can tell, Izzy, thank you for the encouragement there. I'm not a technical person, so all of these amazing documentaries, yeah, I'm on camera, I'm writing. That's how that goes. But all of this, you know, all of the successes that were happening in Ottawa, it led me to the Netflix-Banff Diversity of Voices initiative in 2022, and this is an amazing program where they select some filmmakers for their creative script writing, and you get to meet with producers in Canada, US, and beyond, and you would think that I would be so thrilled. There I am in the corner. It's not the most flattering photo, but I'm so happy to be part of their official banner that I don't even care. But the reality was a little bit different. So on the note of vulnerability, guys, these are some little videos that I took of myself.
Everyone, let's go, I guess. Yes, it's gonna be good.
That's a little bit quiet, but that's me trying to convince myself that it's gonna be good. So I was optimistic. Here's day 2.
It's day 2, let's see what happens.
You can see the acceptance washing over me. I accept whatever's gonna come. And then day 3.
It's the last day. I am overwhelmed. We'll see what happens and where all of this goes.
Wait, I mean, it led here, so that's good. But I needed to... Yes. And around this time, I got to, that's Mariam again. This is a video that's on a loop. I'm on the conveyor belt in the airport and she's running and it's very sweet and I love it. And then that's me and Mariam on a boat in Turkey. So I was very lucky to be able to take a bit of time. It was a family holiday where a lot of our family came from Iran to see us in Turkey. There was about 30 of us in total. And what was so remarkable about this trip was that I got to witness my mum connecting with family that she hadn't seen in person for 39 years. And it was just this beautiful, a lot of tears, obviously, and just this gorgeous moment of connection and really able to be with my cousins in a country that culturally is more similar to Iran than when 1 or 2 of them would come to visit in Canada or England. And I got to really, again, see the resilience of my cousins who are my age living in Iran, what they are dealing with every day, but again, the joy and the beautiful spaces they're creating. And of course, I also got to become a little bit more familiar with the certain quirks that exist in the community as well. One of them has got to do with noses. We'll get into that in a moment. But I was just filled with such a sense of peace. So when I came back to Canada, it was time to... Thank you. So I had an idea based on this entire journey, and I reached out to CBC Creator Network. And very happily, CBC Creator Network said yes, and this was my pitch. Why Iranians love nose jobs and cosmetic surgery. This is a headline from an article. Essentially, Cameron, I see you laughing in the back, you know. So Iran is a global hub of cosmetic nose surgery, and there are a lot of different reasons. Maybe it's political, maybe it's social, of why there is this push to look a little bit more European. And again, the documentary, not a judgment, we can do what we want with our bodies, but just really trying to unpack why did this happen in Iran. And this beautiful portrait by Jen Bernard, I have the Iranian hump on my nose that has caused me pain growing up, but that I've been proud of nonetheless. And so the documentary with CBC was really unpacking, again, this fact about Iran and my own personal experience with it as well. And excitingly, I got Samin Nosrat in the documentary. And if you guys don't know, Samin is a New York Times best-selling author. She is the creator of Netflix's Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. And I also got Maz Jobrani, who is a comedian, an actor that I grew up watching. And so it was just mind-blowing to me that we got to hop on a Zoom call and share stories about our noses to each other in this shared experience.
Look at us go.
So I'm going to give you a little BTS from the doc. Laptop. Thank you, my friend.
Look at us go.
There we go. So this was particularly special in that, the carpet that we had in the background is an heirloom. It was my grandma's carpet. Obviously getting to have a lot of fun with amazing videographer Dina Al-Sawir, who also edited the documentary, and of course my cousin Mariam. And that last photo is me with my partner Alex and Mariam, my cousin. When we got 5K views on YouTube, we were all so excited. And we're gonna try now to show you a little sneak peek of the doc. Let's see how this goes.
When I was in my early 20s, I went on a date with this guy. Let's call him Harold. Trying to prove how perceptive he is, he goes, "I can tell your biggest insecurity." I asked him what, and he goes, "Your nose." My name's...
Thank you. Thank you, guys. And, in marketing, for anyone who's here from a marketing background, they always say, find your niche and stick to it. And this documentary's really shown me how incredibly true that is, because I honed in and lent on my community. Folks, there are so many of us out there, and Iran has such a youthful demographic, and they want to see themselves, they're hungry for content. It means that they're going to engage. And we got YouTube comments like these, which were so beautiful. I also got hate comments, which I was baby's first hate comment. I was very proud of that also. These are some of my favorite YouTube comments. In Iran, a nose job is known as an Iranoplasty, not rhinoplasty. And this one, my absolute favorite. Well, we were all born to stand out. I pluck my unibrow to fit in. Poetry. Poetry. And so as a result of this documentary, I've gotten to go on various CBC radio shows and call-in shows where I'm with the host for an hour, and there's folks calling in to share their own stories from all different cultures and backgrounds. And I've also gotten to go on local radio stations like Chin Radio and CKCU for shows that are specific to the Iranian community as well. And for any diaspora kids here who are like, not very, get a bit ashamed of how badly they speak their mother tongue. That was me with Farsi, but these lovely, lovely hosts were always so supportive of me just trying my best with Farsi. And so now I got over it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Eshkali nadare that my Farsi is so bad. Kamran, that's just for you. And then we had the Good Nose screening event a couple weeks ago. I see some familiar faces. And this is a beautiful reel that Jen put together where we had a lot of portraits taken from everyone's noses. So getting to celebrate everyone's nose as well as my own is such a precious moment. So that's it, guys. For me, resilience, it's really, again, this being able to know that we have our community to lean on. It's knowing that we can burn it down but get back up again. So I just want to thank you all very, very much. But before I do that, one more time. Burn it down. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Jiggle, wiggle, and dance like a roof on fire.